Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. It's June 2020 now, so it is time for the Month 4 Creator Update. Per tradition, this is not really about Disney or Disney Vacation Club or Walt Disney World. This is really about YouTube and me as a creator. We will go over the analytics, of course. I think it's interesting to track that month to month, but I'm going to spend most of the video today talking about racial justice. And this won't be an in-depth scholarly conversation by any means. It will probably be relatively broad and short, but if you're interested in having that kind of conversation with me, stay tuned. The date I'm filming this is Saturday, June 6th. I started my channel on February 10th, so it's actually a little bit early to do analytics right now. My next week at work is just super busy, and I don't think that I'll have time to do the whole video during the work week. So instead, I'm going to do a lot of the video now, and then we'll have a cut to future Jacqueline to talk about analytics closer to June 10th. But before we get into analytics with future Jacqueline, I really want to spend some time to talk about Black Lives Matter. I did not have a dedicated video on the channel for Black Lives Matter. This is something I went back and forth about for a while. In the past 2 monthly creator updates, I noted that my productivity had been low and I wasn't really getting ahead on videos, and I actually managed to solve that this month, largely in part because I had a 4-day weekend in May that allowed me to get pretty far ahead, honestly. So after recent events of police brutality, I considered using this platform to amplify relevant voices, websites, resources, places you can donate, all of that kind of thing. And as you can tell by my channel, I ended up not doing that. There were a variety of factors that went into this. One is I don't have a huge audience on YouTube, so I don't feel a huge amount of pressure to use my platform for that kind of change. The second is I like YouTube and I think it's really great. And again, I'm so thankful for everyone who does have a bigger platform that was using their platform for good in this moment in time. But YouTube, to me as a viewer, feels like the person on the video is talking at the audience, and it's not as much as a conversation as I think something as important as Black Lives Matter should be. So I've really been focusing my efforts for Black Lives Matter in my personal life through conversations with colleagues, people with differing opinions from me, trying to spread education and resources as much as I can. Some of my work focuses on this also. Part of my work portfolio focuses on equity in the workplace, and I truly mean equity and not equal opportunity. So I have been using my work platform more than like my Disney platform, which is tiny. I don't even have a Disney platform, let's be honest. I have made some posts and done some engagement on my Disney Twitter at PixieDustPhD around Black Lives Matters. But even with Twitter, the character limitations feel limiting for a conversation this big and this important, and that I think a lot of people need more coaching and coaxing through than really a tweet will allow for. So yeah, a lot of my efforts have been focused around what I do at work as well as in my personal life. Honestly, I've been slammed at work, and that's totally fine with me. I'm happy to put in the extra hours for a cause this important. But so even though I thought really hard maybe about interrupting the schedule that I had created since I had gotten far ahead on my videos and putting something out, I really just didn't have the time or energy. And I know that that is coming from a place of privilege where I am allowed to take a time out from this, and not everybody has that privilege. I would love to be able to say that I am shocked and horrified and surprised about all the recent events, but I'm not. If you have been paying attention to our country, this shouldn't come as a surprise. I am very pleasantly surprised that apparently we decided as a whole unit, as a country in general, that we're fed up and that we're not going to take this anymore. So the response has been lovely and surprising, and I'm really proud of a lot of the non-Black people of color and white folks that have shown up to this fight, especially in my personal network. As far as donations, I did have a little bit of analysis paralysis. As you can probably tell from this channel, I'm really detail-oriented. I like to read the fine print. I like to sort of know all of the terms and conditions going into things. So yeah, it took me a while to settle on organizations that I felt really good about. If I donated here, my money would go towards actually a good cause and not to overhead, and not to just paying CEOs a ton of money, etc. There are so many amazing organizations fighting for equity, as well as just Black-owned organizations that need help right now. And if you are overwhelmed by the choices, I'm just going to highlight a couple places that resonated strongly with me that I felt really great about donating to. Note that I'm going to look down at my phone a little bit because I will be reading mission statements to make sure that I don't misrepresent these organizations in any way. And these organizations that I'm about to highlight focus on things outside of the protests. And yes, I think it's super important to support the peaceful protests. And note that Looters aren't protesters, and don't get those confused. But the racism in our country is systemic, meaning it reaches way more than just police brutality. It really affects the whole system. That means everything from housing, education, healthcare, and so much more. Your daily existence is affected by this racism. So in identifying organizations that I wanted to donate to, I wanted to donate to something that resonated with me, and I care so much about mental health. One of the organizations I donated to is called the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective. It's called BEAM, B-E-A-M for short. And their brief mission statement is, BEAM is a training, movement building, and grant-making organization dedicated to the healing, wellness, and liberation of Black and marginalized communities. Their vision? BEAM envisions a world where there are no barriers to Black healing. And that felt so important to me, and so I did donate to that cause, and I will link them down below. A similar organization that I donated to is called the Loveland Foundation. The Loveland Foundation is committed to showing up for communities of color in unique and powerful ways with a particular focus on Black women and girls. Their resources and initiatives are collaborative, and they prioritize opportunity, access, validation, and healing. The Loveland Foundation has a therapy fund, and donations to this help fund therapy sessions for Black women and girls. For those of you who don't know, therapy can be extremely expensive. In the area that I live in, the average I think is around $200 a session. The Loveland Foundation says that nationally it's anywhere between $80 to $200, so I guess I live on the high end of things, but it's really expensive is the point, and access to mental care is so important. And while I donated to several other organizations, the last one I'm going to highlight in this video is the EMW Women's Surgical Center located in Kentucky. Now, I have no personal ties to Kentucky, but what I found out through some research is that EMW Women's Surgical is the only legal abortion clinic in the entire state, and it is one of 6 Black-owned clinics in the country. Access to healthcare is a huge issue in this country, and anytime there's a general issue, you can have a good bet that it will be so much worse for people of color. In particular, reproductive healthcare for Black women in this country is extremely subpar. So again, this is a cause that resonated deeply with me, and I know that my money will be in good hands there. If you have the means, I really encourage you to donate somewhere that matters to you. A one-time lump sum donation right now is great for right now, but also if you have the means, consider setting up a recurring payment. Recurring payments help keep programs stable over time rather than just this one influx spike of donations. Even just $5 a month or $10, whatever you can afford, can make a really big difference for an organization. To bring this back to Disney, I do want to emphasize again that I am really thankful for all the folks who have larger platforms that have been speaking out on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, anywhere. And I trust that a lot of those folks are doing the hard work in their personal lives as well. It's been really illuminating, especially over on Twitter, to see all of the racists come out in force. Of course, it's really disappointing to know that those folks exist in the Disney community to begin with. Disney is not a banner of equity by any means in the corporate world, but so much of at least the Disney parks experience for me personally is that everyone deserves that kind of joy. Everyone has that kid inside of them. It's really universal. That's a feeling to me that transcends all boundaries. And I would hope that a community so invested in that feeling would understand how that applies to the broader context, but that hasn't necessarily been the case. That being said, there are still a ton of amazing people, and like I said, I'm very thankful for them. If you've watched my monthly creator updates before, you know that I don't like Instagram as much as Twitter or YouTube in general in the Disney community, and that continued to be true through all of this. Even with just coronavirus, I felt like Instagram was getting pretty gross. And now with Black Lives Matters, it's so bizarre to see these people making sure they stay on brand, on Disney brand, while they're trying to promote a movement. It just feels really hollow when you post a picture of like you and Princess Tiana and the entire caption is just Black Lives Matter and nothing more, no more context, no resources, not using your platform for anything. And the weirdest part is I don't follow very many people on Instagram, and yet I still see these posts from these apparently very famous Disney influencers that I don't personally follow, but they just clog my feed. So I have really put Instagram aside for many, many weeks now. There's a somewhat pervasive argument through Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of that, you know, the Disney content creators are like a respite from the real world. And I don't disagree with that. And obviously this is the first Black Lives Matters post that I'm making. But while the videos in your content can be a respite, I do think it should come at least with some meaningful acknowledgement of what's happening right now. And my biggest wish is that this doesn't go away after the right now portion is over. Like I said earlier, this has been happening for a long time. And if we don't continue to put pressure on authorities, this will continue to happen. So continue to protest, continue to donate, and vote. And not just in the presidential election. That is very important, don't get me wrong. But you need to make change at the local level also. Things like your district attorney, the police chief, your mayor, who's on city council. Pay attention to policies and bills that are being voted on. All of this matters because, like I said, this is a systemic issue, and all of these things will affect more than just police brutality, but the everyday existence of Black folks and other marginalized people in your life. I know that this can be tiring and exhausting, and so also be sure to take care of yourself because we are in the long haul. This will be a long fight. We need to make sure that you keep that fire burning in you and that energy maintained throughout. Let me know what organizations you identified that resonate with you, that you have donated to, or if you can't due to your financial situation, you at least want to amplify. I would be happy to try to amplify those in my tiny, itty-bitty Disney community for you. Hey everyone, it's June 10th now, so let's go ahead and look at the analytics for the channel. For month 4, I've run analytics from May 10th through June 9th. I got 295 views with 161 unique viewers. There were 24.3 hours watch time. An average duration is now 4 minutes and 57 seconds. The average view duration in percent is 44.3%. I had about 3,500 impressions and around 15.5% of those were from YouTube recommending my content. Watch time from those not subscribed is 80.9% and I got 9 new subscribers this month. So all the metrics actually trended in the way that I was hoping they would this month. And I'm pretty surprised because for the past several weeks, I haven't been promoting the channel very much on other social media. My new subscribers is still down from the first month and the second month where I got 14 and then 11 new subscribers. The last month I only got 5 and this month I got 9, so that is definitely progress. The other thing I'm very pleased with is average view duration. Month 1, the average view duration was under 2 minutes and now we are at almost 5 minutes. And that percentage has also jumped about 10%. And even though I've sort of taken a break from promoting the YouTube channel on other social media, I still am really pretty active on Twitter these days. I now have 190 followers, so pretty close to 200, which blows my mind, and I'm following 332 accounts. As I said earlier, I have basically taken a break from Instagram. I actually checked and I haven't posted in over a month. So unsurprisingly, I lost 2 followers. I'm actually surprised it wasn't more considering the inactivity on that account. So I have 57 followers on Instagram and I'm following 107 accounts. While this is just a side creative hobby, something for me to do and a place for me to dump all of the Disney information in my brain, of course I still want to be successful. And I'm not really sure how to define successful, but it is nice that in most of these metrics, the channel is trending month to month in an upward trajectory. So it's good and it feels nice. And I mentioned this last month, but the DVC content still is doing well, much better than the Walt Disney World content. So lifetime for the channel, I have 675 views and 40 subscribers. There are 44.3 watch hours total. An average view duration is now up to 3 minutes and 56 seconds, largely thanks to the big spike I had this month in average view duration. That average view duration translates to 40.6%. Overall, that's still a little lower than I'm hoping for, but it is trending upward, and so I'm just going to try to stay positive about that. Lifetime on the channel, I have about 8,500 impressions, and around 12% of those are from YouTube recommending my content. And unsurprisingly, lifetime on the channel, about 80.7% of the watches on my channel are from people not subscribed. So as I've mentioned in previous months, subscribers is definitely the metric that I am struggling with the most. That continues to be true. I did want to mention that a lot of YouTubers, and outside of just Disney YouTube, but YouTubers in general, are donating all of their ad revenue from AdSense to Black Lives Matter related causes. I think that's amazing, and I would definitely do that if I had AdSense revenue, but obviously from my lifetime channel stats, we're not there yet. I am donating my personal funds as I can, and I hope that you do the same even if you don't have AdSense revenue. So those are the stats for the channel this month. If there are stats that I'm not listing that you would be interested in knowing about, definitely let me know in the comments below and I'll start adding those in and I can reply to you for the current stats right now. And if there are any topics that you want me to make videos for, also let me know. You can let me know in any video, but these videos are really meant to be more interactive as well as reflective for me in order to know how the channel is doing, what people want, etc. So any ideas you have, I'm always open to. I hope you're taking really good care of yourself physically and mentally, and remember that this is a long journey. Stay energized, and we'll see you next time at Pixie Dust PhD.